Hello and welcome to Revsportz. A very good morning from Vizag. This is me, Trisha Ghosal, reporting here from the India-Sri Lanka bilateral T20I series. Well, the first match was an absolutely thumping win for India, chasing 121. They finished, they completed the target in 14.4 overs with 8 wickets remaining and 32 balls remaining. Today is the second T20I, and if you look at India, then I think India will first and foremost like to get their fielding sorted. As far as their batting is concerned, I think Smriti Mandhana and Shafali Verma both would like to stay on and get a big partnership going, because the opening partnership is going to be extremely important come World Cup 2026 in England. Jemimah Rodriguez is doing fine. Harmanpreet Kaur, who hasn't been among runs in T20Is, did spend quite some time in the pitch last game. So today, when she eventually gets a chance, she too would like to, contribute and be in form. If you look at the bowling department, India's bowling department, I think most of them were sorted. But if I think N. Sri Charni will absolutely want to be more economical. She went for 30 odd runs in 4 overs, which is close to 8 runs per over. She would want to get better figures. As far as Sri Lanka is concerned, they have a lot to think about, because even after so many years, if your team is that dependent on Chamari Atapattu, maybe not for scoring runs alone, but also for the strike rate, none of the Sri Lankan batters actually scored at a better strike rate. Atapattu started, but Atapattu does have a knack of getting out once she gets going, she has a knack of suddenly playing an adventurous stroke and getting out. And it's perfectly fine, even if she gets out. I think Sri Lanka should not be as dependent anymore. They have batters, just that the batters are extremely inconsistent, and they have to change that if they want to pose any sort of threat in the World Cup, in the coming World Cup, or even in bilateral series for that matter. As far as Chamari Atapattu herself is concerned, she would definitely want to go in and get some runs behind her, because yes, it was a quick fire 15. Yes, she was hitting the ball probably not as well as she would want to, but she was hitting the ball, she was clearing the boundary. That's it. An extremely poor shot selection from someone like her, taking nothing away from Kranti Gaur, of course. Now, if you look at the key players, who could be the key players of both the sides for today's game? I think for India, definitely the name I just took, Kranti Gaur, will be extremely important, because Kranti, I think, with the new ball, if you can get Chamari Atapattu out again, which she did very well in the Australia series, she absolutely got stuck at Aliza Healy and dismissed her almost every single match. If you can do that with Chamari Atapattu, then you will actually break the backbone of the Sri Lankan batting quite early on. Among the batters, I think it will be important for Smriti Mandhana. So let's say Smriti Mandhana, because it's important for Smriti Mandhana to get back among runs. Yes, last game she did score a few runs, but that was extremely scratchy. I think one reason for that is, in fact, last game against spinners she did better than against pacers. Because I think against Sri Lankan pacers, it's not easy to score. They're slow, medium pacers. They're not really fast, so the ball is not coming onto your bat that easily, and shot making becomes tough. As far as spinners are concerned, yes, we know there is a off-spin trouble. There is a left-arm spin dismissal issue that Mandhana does have. Mostly because she will try and attack the spinners when they eventually come. So that is one area that she has to be aware. But I think she will get going today, and we might see a fantastic knock from someone who has just reached 4,000 T20I runs, the Vizag crowd will love it. Because let me tell you something, I don't know what people are reporting, but the truth is, for a bilateral series, I like to see the brighter side, Yes, you can say the men's T20I had more crowd than the women's T20I. But when you compare, let's not compare men, women immediately. Let's just compare women T20I versus women T20I. I do think the seats that the Vizag crowd has done well. Quite a few stands were, were pretty much full, and the crowd was very loud, cheering every single run from Indian batters and the wickets. So now going to Sri Lanka, their key players. Unfortunately, you have to name Chamari as one of their key players over and over again. Probably this will become over 5 T20Is, I would say, Chamari because unfortunately it is like that. We saw that very, very clearly in the World Cup. We saw that pretty clearly even in the first match, that if Chamari does not work, it becomes a bit of a problem. So Chamari somehow has to find a way to remain not out in the power play and take her innings to 12-13 overs, and if that can be done, then Sri Lanka can pose a big total, or if India bats first, then they can chase down a big total. In the bowling department, I think among spinners, Inoka Ranavira, the left arm spinner, will be significantly important, and she could be one of their wicket takers today. The other part that I would like to see the Sri Lankan batters work on a bit is they played a lot of sweeps and reverse sweeps last game, which probably did not work too well. Maybe play a little bit more with the straighter bat today to get some runs. Playing 11, I don't see India's playing 11 changing. Maybe Renuka in place of Arundhati for no apparent reason, just that it seems like there could be a rotation among these three bowlers, Renuka, Arundhati, Kranti. So that could be one thing. You don't want to give Kranti a break right now. I don't think you don't want to give even Arundhati a break right now. So for me, playing 11, I don't think it will change from the first game. As far as Sri Lanka is concerned, maybe a spinner change could be. But ideally, I would also want them to, because they have, yes, Shashini Gamhini was extremely expensive last game, but you don't want to, drop her right after the first game, because that does not send a good signal to the young bowler. So I would say even the Sri Lankan team will go unchanged. Join us for the pre-show. Snehashish and I will come at 6 p.m. sharp. We'll come live with all the updates, details, and a lot of analysis, as you know. Keep watching Revsportz and keep supporting our coverage. Do like, share, and subscribe.